You know, it's not just 100 years ago in Mexico. It's not just 2,000 years. I think it's every single age of Christians has been challenged to stand up for what they believe. So I'd like to share with you a story of a saint you've probably never heard of. His name is Gaspar del Bufalo. I think his mother called him Gaspare. He was Italian. So it was 1810. He was only 24 years old. He'd only been ordained a short time, and now he was under arrest. Napoleon had conquered the Papal States, had imprisoned the Pope. His intention was to close the churches, and he required all the priests to pledge allegiance to Napoleon. So there was Gaspar standing in front of the prefect. Now the prefect was a kind old gentleman. He was trying to minimize the event, downplaying it, reducing everything to a mere formality. It was just a harmless bureaucratic exercise. The important thing was that Gaspar was put at ease, that he should not realize the seriousness of the choice to which he was being called. After all, many priests had already acquiesced and signed the oath of allegiance. But Gaspar was not listening to the prefect. He was thinking of the blood that Napoleon had already shed. He was thinking of the imprisonment of the Holy Father. And he was thinking of the violation of liberty and the suppression of independence for the church. So his response to the prefect was precise and clear. I cannot, I must not, I will not.
Amen.
So, just 200 years later, now it's a different country, a different government. This time, an American president has taken it upon himself to define what is religious and what is not. He has taken it upon himself to determine how I should live my faith in this time and place. And so, should I acquiesce to his demands?
No!
I cannot, I must not, I will not. The World Health Organization classifies oral contraceptives as a class 1 carcinogen, right up there with tobacco. And the government wants me to provide this as free health care. Should I? I cannot, I must not, I will not. Women who use oral contraceptives for 4 years prior to their first full-term pregnancy have a 52% increased risk of developing breast cancer. And the government calls this health care and wants us to provide it free. Well, I cannot, I must not, I will not. Oral contraceptives do horrific damage to a woman's body. And so should we call this health care? No. Abortion destroys human life. It's unreasonable, it's unintelligent for us to call that health care. I cannot, I must not, I will not. So the president got a little uncomfortable. He proposed a compromise that would allow insurance companies to pay for the contraceptives rather than the church institution. So my question, I belong to a church institution. The Missionaries of the Precious Blood. We're, well, self-insured. So that means we'd have to pay for it. Well, I cannot, I must not, I will not. Now here's another question. What if I'm a Catholic businessman who's required by my government now to provide something, insurance that violates my conscience, my answer would be, I cannot, I must not, I will not. So, what will be next? Who will be next? Just last week now, the New Mexico Court of Appeals has ruled that it's illegal for a photography business owned by Christians to refuse to photograph a same-sex wedding ceremony, even though New Mexico does not permit same-sex marriage. So what will they say next? Will it be illegal for me to refuse to do a same-sex marriage? Would we as Catholics allow the state to redefine one of our sacraments? Well, I cannot, I must not, I will not. Now you have to know that after he said this, St. Gaspar del Bufalo, the founder of my community, spent 4 years in prison for his profession of faith. We must pray, too, that when the time comes, we have the strength to be firm in our faith. We are not imposing our values on anyone. The government has dictated that employees at Catholic institutions are provided with free contraception. And that is an imposition on our faith and on our values and on our conscience. The government doesn't so much want to advance women's health. They seek to demonize a faith that has the audacity of hope that they might live their faith free from government interference and intrusion. I know this is just a formality. I know it's just a harmless bureaucratic exercise. I know that the important thing is that we should not realize the seriousness of the choice to which we are being called. After all, everybody else is doing it. But let me be perfectly clear. I cannot, I must not, I will not.
That was awesome.
Yes, it is.
And I'm happy to say, having heard Father Keys, that my son's name is Jeffrey. Okay, our next, before I introduce our next speaker, I want